Alfred here, 3v3 Faction War Judgement of Carrion Space Marines versus Eldar Blue Team. Talrion plays a Force Commander, offensive melee, quite versatile, can tank, disrupt and even support a little. Alongside Sneakus, Peekus playing an Apothecary, support commander, fights melee by default, has a target heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Rounding out Blue Team, we have Wildbold on the west side as a Techmarine, puts out some nice range damage, can also put up structures and repair. This is Dark Angels DLC. Red Team, we have triple Eldar Farseers, first up Darks, this is all the way DLC. We have Pottah in the centre and Regant over on the east side. These are support commanders that fight melee. Lots of buffs and debuffs, can put out some damage as well though. All three Eldar players going for Howling Banshees, light melee unit with power weapons, very dangerous for those tactical marines. Also help you with vehicles come tier 2. Darks being very aggressive, trying to get models off these marines. Look at this though, Scouts being sneaky and taking his VP. Pottah pushing against that Apothecary. He's so vulnerable early game versus those Howling Banshees. Just 550 hit points this guy. And the Farseer seeing off the marines. We do have attacks coming out of that building though. Farseer needs to be very careful and is forced to retreat. Should be able to see off these attacks though with these Howling Banshees. Scouts trying to out melee some Guardians there. Howling Banshees now in amongst these tactical marines. Can he get a model loss? And he does get a model loss. 494, 460, an early VP advantage for the Space Marines since they have stolen this natural VP of red. Farseer putting guide on those Guardians, as you can see, boosting their range and damage. Also works for melee. Force Commander pushing the east side, forcing off those Guardians. 494, 433. Devastators on the way for Sneakus, Peekus. He needs to control those Howling Banshees, especially with Farseer support. You can put guide on Banshees and really own some marines. Shuriken Cannon on the field for Darks. Set up team that suppresses, forces off those marines. And we already see the Mastercraft bolter for the Techmarine, a really nice tier 1 weapon. Nice DPS versus light infantry especially, and has the high powered shot to suppress and do heavy damage to one model. 494, 417. Pottah gets a ranger squad on the field, most likely will go double rangers. Can be quite difficult for Space Marines to deal with rangers. The natural thing to do is to get Assault Marines, but with supported Howling Banshees around, that can be painful. 482, 417 east side. Howling Banshees for Regant, just about getting away there. We have some Flamers on Talrion's Tactical Marines, or a Flamer should I say. Shuriken pushing up, should be able to force off these attacks, you would think. They are just gonna stroll away like Tactical Marines would. Pottah still has this central VP, and it's a 2-to-1 cap for red. Darks has taken the Western power now. Will we see bionics from the Techmarine to try and control those Banshees, or rather knock them on their faces? Here come the Banshees, and there's a grenade on the Shuriken. Sneaky Scouts, wow, lots of damage, and the Shuriken is forced off, but the Banshees are already in amongst the attacks. Can he get a model loss though? He cannot. Scouts forced off without a model loss also. Darks needs to start taking models off those Marines. 440, 417, Pottah pushing up the centre. Ouch. Rangers taking shots at this Apothecary, forcing him to retreat. Force Commander with double Tactical Marines. Regent needs to be careful, needs to position that Shuriken, get us out quickly. Wow, flame attacks doing some serious damage to those Banshees, forcing them off quick time. Might want to get Armour of Fortune since he already has the Ghost Helm and can't get Spirit Stones, he loses his Shuriken as well. Heavy losses and heavy damage for Regant to deal with, and the Tactical Marines, as you can see, completely untouched there. Now they're going to get this power harassed. Pottah putting guide on his Guardians behind that shield. Not much Sneakus Peekus can do. Pottah though wary of those Assault Marines. What is he up to? He has the Ghost Helm also, and he's gonna go and try and tie up this Devastator. Also has Armor of Fortune on the way. He's gonna go down here though, I think, and does. Darks much more prefers the Spirit Stones, yes, and he does have them. An AoE heal for the Farseer. Full gen farm here for Eldar. Despite the Farseer going down, Banshee's able to get in amongst the Assault Marines and take out a model despite a heal from the Apothecary, and then retreat with 4 models. 385, 417, a 2-to-1 cap for the Eldar. Look at this though, they completely lost his power, all gens gone and decapped as well. This Farseer of Regant really needs Armor of Fortune, I think, to help his Banshees out. 371, 417. Sneakus Peekus almost decapping mid. Pottah in the end not getting double range, it looks like, though we could still see them. Darks doing well on the west side so far. Scouts are going to be sneaky again and try and decap his VP. That's Mind War on those scouts, does not take out a model though. 360, 417. Rangers getting shots in on those Devastators. Needs to be so careful with those things. He is pushing though. Pathfinder gear on the Rangers, infiltrating them. West side it's kicking off. Scouts forced to retreat. Looks like they got a sneaky grenade in from the rear. They weren't going to decap, but rather dislodge the Shuriken. Farseer tying up the Techmarine. Banshee's now tying up the Tactical Marines, and it's the same deal time and time again. He's just unable to stop those Banshees getting in amongst the attacks. He needs Devastators or shotguns on his scouts or bionics. One of the three. He needs to get something to stop those Howling Banshees getting in. 360, 402. Rangers backing off. Turn and will now fire, taking out a scout model. Farseer of Pottah, we have lost the indicator for her. Putting guide on these Guardians. Guide, such a great starting ability, especially with the Shuriken, I think. Lots of pressure on the east side by the Force Commander. Shotgun blast going off. Banshees retreating. These Banshees have bled so much, and he's up against a tier 2 Force Commander here who already has the Power Fist and the Teleporter pack. Now the power will get hit again. 360, 377. Force Commander levels to 3. Apothecary still level 1, now has the Mastercrafted Bolter. We'll try and use full auto on that Farseer, no doubt. Wildbold trying to push again on the west. He has his sneaky scouts decapping. So it's going to be a 2-to-1 for blue, I think. There we see guide on the Shuriken, and look how far the range extends when it has guide. Plasma cannon now coming in from Wildbold. That's a very good choice. Artillery unit that sets up, easily outranging the Shuriken. And there's the first shot. Hits the Guardians. They do not lose a model though, using fleet to come and take back the node. No, I think they're coming in for a grenade on this garrison. Scouts trying to hide. Can they get one off? Are they even going to bother with Howling Banshees there? I don't think they are. Wraithlord hits the field for Darks. Walker vehicle, really nice in melee. Can also get a shoulder mounted range weapon. Pottah dominating the centre so far. Has it capped, has a Guardian shield up. Surprised we don't see more, we do see 3. And look at this, Regant pushing the east side, decapping their VP even. Red's natural is also decapped though, and now Wildbold needs a way to deal with this Wraith Lord, most likely a missile launcher for these attacks. At least, might want a las cannon as well, or Orbs of the Omnissiah, and he is getting Orbs of the Omnissiah. Also has signal armor. 342, 377. Regant doesn't want to get stuck here. Flesh over steel on the Wraith Lord, completely stunning it hard. Farseer scares off the Force Commander now can tie up some tack. Should be tying up the missile launcher though, you would think. Takes out the scouts, yes. Farseer running riot. I think Mind War was in on the scouts there. 310, 377, a triple cap for the Eldar. Regant able to push back against that Force Commander then. Talrion needs some AV. No crap. Mark target on Dark's Banshees. Wraith Lord in there. Do the Banshees get away? They do. An excellently timed Spirit Stone's heal on retreat saves them. Surely would have gone down without it. A grenade. Nicely done again. Marines. Will they lose a model to the Wraith Lord in retreat? Doing such huge splash damage with each hit, but they don't lose a model. Here goes the Techmarine now in retreat, and Darks might be able to hit and put pressure on his power now. Sneakus Peekus trying to push the center. Rangers in retreat. Looks like the Assault Marines were responsible. Howling Banshees in amongst it, as is that Farseer. Farseers. Howling Banshees now level 2. Took out that Apothecary. Farseer herself is also level 2. Dark's Farseer level 1. Regant's also level 2. Force Commander level 4 now. Apothecary level 1 has a Dreadnought on the field, putting some serious hurt on his Banshees. Ouch. That was Fist of the Emperor. And now upgrades to the Assault Cannon. Falcon on the field for pottah. Really nice support vehicle. A bit tougher and a bit better firepower than the other support vehicles in the game, but it is more expensive also. Allows you to reinforce and also transport infantry. And look at this pressure from Darks on the west side. Autarch coming down. We have a Dreadnought on the field for Wildbold. He's trying to fight fire with fire here. Put in the Space Marine Walker up against the Wraith Lord. Are we going to see the Singing Spear now for the Farseer? Most likely we will. Huge pressure again here from Talrion. Has Assault Terminators on the field. That's a pretty quick Assault Terminator getting out there. They have Thunderhammers and Storm Shields and 5,400 health. Super heavy infantry that cannot retreat. Unique to the Force Commander. Farseer in trouble because she's going to retreat through Assault Terminators and she's going to get pulverized. Boom. Giving off their AoE buff there, only affect the Force Commander that time. Dark's again losing his natural to these sneaky scouts. He's camped outside Blue's natural power here and has taken it and has loaded it. Can Wildbold push back with the Dreadnought? Has some missile launch attacks, but they are suppressed by the Shuriken. And we have a Bright Lance on the field for Darks. Should put Guide on it, help him take down that Dreadnought. And he has put Guide on it, and the Dreadnought is toast. Mark target now on the Wraith Lord. Techmarine in trouble though, goes down to Banshees. Wildbold just a bit too late in retreating. Plasma cannon shots going in. But again, Dark's forcing him off and locking down this west side. But needs to take his VP back. 154, 377 Force Commander of Talrion now in the middle and decapping stuff. Farseer of pottah has this Singing Spear herself. Dark's Farseer did not get it. Didn't need it in the end. And Regent's Farseer still down. Right outside of base. Assault Terminators on the field. Gonna be some trouble to dislodge. You cannot suppress them, of course. Dark's now recapping his natural with the Autarch. 2-1 for Space Marines. Scouts, not sure what they were trying to do, got caught by the Shuriken. Wraithlord needs some repairs, but Darks does not have any Guardians to do so. We have Sneakus Peekus' Dreadnought getting repairs, half a level up. Assault Marines have their Sergeant, and blue team have noded this power, so both natural powers on the flanks taken by the opposite team. Regant now has a Wraithlord and a Wraithguard squad, short range artillery, huge damage to all targets with an AoE. And we might see a some movement here from blue. Here comes Talrion from the east, flesh over steel on the Wraithlord, and then runs away. Wraithlord's now in trouble because here come Assault Terminators. Regant's Farseer back on her feet, revived by pottah, I think. Wraithlord does go down, and here comes Sneakus Peekus to close the trap. Grenade goes off. Shuriken Cannon, I think, going down there, and a really nice push by blue. 154309. There's Assault Terminators leading the charge. Autarch with her spear in amongst some tactical marines, but needs to retreat. That's pottahs. And red team now getting their power harassed. Darks still putting a huge pressure on Wildbold on the west side. Now with Time Field, Armor of the Assyrian, giving Wildbold even more of a headache. This Wraithlord still stomping around, and he is in tier 3, and it has Wraithbone, so can now self-heal. No sign of a shoulder mounted weapon though. Takes down the Techmarine again. Farseer levels to 3 and should get away, yes. Tactical Marine in a sync kill, taken out and just flung aside by the Wraithlord. Shuriken Cannon pushed up even more. 146298. Regant now looking very thin, but he does have Seer Council on the field. Unique unit to the Farseer. Really nice melee unit with power weapons, leap into combat as well. Dark's not letting up the pressure here. Ouch, grenade on the Shuriken and almost finished off by the plasma cannon. Here comes Sneakus Peekus to help out. Darks needs to play this very, very carefully. You see the AoE buff there from the Autarch and full retreat from Darks. Wraithlord backs off almost level 3. Pottah retakes center though. 146289. Regant bringing his Wraithguard and Seer Council to the center, now getting a Fire Prism. And everyone except Sneakus Peekus is tier 3. Blue team using that double to push the west side, taking out the node, and Tactical Marines will decap the VP. Darks needs to stop this cap, and here comes the Farseer. Autarch jumps in, just couldn't do it in time, hasn't stopped the cap anyway. Tactical Marines now flee with no losses. Darks can now retake that VP for a 2-1. Avatar on the way for pottah. Bad news for blue team. 134289, but this power under huge pressure. Fire Prism taking tons of damage from those double missile launch attacks. Half of its health gone. Eldar now going over to the east side to support. Darks takes his VP back, a 2-1 for a double, for the Eldar. Might be a triple here. And it is a triple. 116289. Space Marines up against it. Here comes the Bright Lance, Shuriken, and everything else from Darks. Darks really likes to use Seer Council himself, so we're probably going to see Autarch goes down. That's a big loss. And something being called in. Is it a Venerable, or is that just a drop pod? It is a Venerable Dreadnought This Bright Lance is going to get owned. I don't think Darks has seen it. Now he has. Can it take the Bright Lance out? It does take the Bright Lance out. Can he stand up to it with a level 2 Wraithlord? Wildbold doesn't want to find out and just charges the Venerable out there. We might see the Singing Spear now, but Darks does have Seer Council on the field, idle at base right now. Here they come, 47-289. Huge pressure on Blue's natural. Look at this. Assault Terminators in there, still with their Thunderhammers. And Eldar should be forced off here, yes, but that was a lot of good pressure on this VP. Space Marines, though, have taken the centre meanwhile. Here is the Avatar of Cain from Pottah. Super unit for Eldar. Powerful in melee, gives off an AoE buff passively as well. And the Devastators don't want anything to do with it. Wailing Doom straight away, but misses. Here comes the Force Commander. Will be able to stun it with Flesh over Steel, I believe. He now has Artificer Armor. Darks again pushing hard on the west, maybe a bit too hard. He's lost his VP again to these scouts, and he's going to get this wreck point decapped as well. And it's a triple cap for the Space Marines, 37-251. Stop getting injured, says Pottah to Darks on the west side. Talrion has double Assault Terminators, wow. Sneakus Peekus calling back Talrion there, not wanting to overextend. Here comes an Avatar Autarch, Seer Council, Fire Prism, and Pottah's level 4 Farseer Regants is down at Blue's natural. Dark's now retaking his natural with a Shuriken Cannon of all things. Wraithbone healing up the Wraithlord, who is now level 3.5. Farseer almost taking out the Venerable, but she had to retreat, and Venerable gets away with 59 hit points. Wraithlord goes down. Wildbold has really not dealt with this thing at all. Should have got the Melter Gun, I think, but he now has some Terminators. Could force melee on that Wraithlord with their Power Fists. 37-168. Center now contested again. Huge engagement. Double Terminators teleporting in. Seer Council in amongst them. Fire Prism getting shots in. We have a D-Cannon here from Pottah. Avatar is snared by something. It's this las cannon. It's not a vehicle, but does count as a large target. 37-156. And those double Assault Marines are still there. And they're going to run in on this Eldar position. Avatar, they need the Avatar to help out. Fire Prism needs to keep moving as well. Doesn't want to show its rear armor to them, that's for sure. Avatar backing off. Doesn't want to chance engaging both of them squads, I don't think. Especially with Terminators or Sneakus Peekus now on the field. We have 4 Terminator squads for the Eldar to deal with. Can they do this? 37-144. Darks pushed back now on the west. In the face of those Terminators, where is Seer Council? They are at base, reinforcing. Almost level 2. Singing Spear going up against those scouts. Despite all of Darks' pressure, I don't think... Has he taken out a unit? Yes, he's taken out... I think Wildbold had Devastators at one point, did he? I'm not sure, maybe he hasn't taken out a unit. Terminators here in melee with the Wraithlord, going up against it with their Power Fist, but there is Wraithbone, and here comes Seer Council and Banshees. These Terminators are big trouble, and they teleport out. 19-140, a 2-to-1 for the Space Marines. Just about hanging on here. Eldar getting some more stuff on the field. Regant, another Fire Prism, another Bright Lance for Pottah. Sorry, that's the only Bright Lance now on the field. Bright Lance is pretty useful actually versus Terminators, doing some good anti-vehicle damage to the large targets. Those Terminators quite low on health. 19, 122. Terminators can't retreat, of course, so it would take ages to walk them back to base, heal them up, and then walk them back to the center. And they just don't have that time, blue team. Time field on the Terminators, slowing them down. I think it's 70% slow and prevents them from attacking. Farseer needs to be careful. She might want to use Spirit Stones on herself now to heal up those Banshees as well. Guide goes down on the Shuriken, and there is the Spirit Stones heal. Is now going to tackle these Terminators head on. There's a grenade. Banshee's not too bothered. Venerable Dreadnought in amongst everything. Wraithlord is in there. 19, 104 is also kicking off in the center. Huge firefight. Bright Lance is there, taking shots at this Assault Cannon Dreadnought, which has Dark Age of technology. And it's almost level 3. Look at this. Some weird bug caused Pottah to turn around and Wailing Doom his own stuff. Don't think it would have hit any of the Marines anyway. Here come the double Assault Marines chasing Wraithguard. Looks like Regant was pressuring Blue's natural and in fact decapped it. So 1-to-1 cap now. Fire Prism taking rear armor hits from something. Regant really needs to take care of these Fire Prisms. A missile hit went in. Look at the damage the Assault Terminator has taken, losing models and needing to teleport out. Assault Cannon Terminators for Sneakus Peekus. That Bright Lance putting out some serious damage. There's a Singularity as well, and Red Team should be able to cap middle here. They have their natural darks keeping the pressure up on Wildbold, and the Techmarine goes down again. Wraithlord now level 4 of course, the maximum for a non-commander unit, going up against the Venerable here, which has more health at level 2, being double repaired by scouts, and here comes Seer Council to help out. Will do reasonable damage with their power weapons, and down goes the Venerable Dreadnought. This is Stoicism. Increased damage and inspiration for 10 seconds. Will the Wraithlord survive? It does. Red Team not capping mid. 19, 91, a 2-to-1 cap. Blue Team holding on still. Regant trying to use his Seer Council to decap, but they have a Power Fist to deal with, and some scouts, and look at the damage just the leaps did there, taking down the scouts in seconds. Level 2 Seer Council. They don't want to fight the Force Commander while he's constantly doing special attacks. And finally, Red Team are decapping mid. 1974. I think Darks is going to lose this level 4 Wraithlord now. Power Fist and the missile launcher take it down. Attacks for Sneakus Peekus now level 3. Apothecary level 7, fully kitted out, armor of purity and improved medical equipment. Seer Council need to retreat. Red take mid. 1971. Can they hold to see this game out? Look at this, sneaky scouts taking Darks' natural here. I don't think he's noticed. Here comes the Avatar of Cain, healed up a bit, not fully. There is Angels of Death, which protects Sneakus Peekus from this Eldritch Storm. That could be absolutely vital. And there's an orbital bombardment. Wow. Absolute chaos. Is that another Eldritch Storm? I think it was. 862. Blues are going to get a double hit. Soon to be a 2-to-1. Very nice Wailing Doom from the Avatar. There is the 2-to-1. 852. Assault Terminators for Talrion. All he has now are Tactical Marines level 4 and 2 Assault Terminator squads. I say all he has, that's still a pretty fearsome force. Darks now forced to come to the center because Regent has lost both of those Fire Prisms he had. 838. These Terminators in trouble. These Howling Banshees must be very nearly level 4 for Darks. They are. And the Terminators will go down surely. Yes. Fire Prism got the last shot from Darks. 826. Red Team need to decap mid. Look at this though, they're capping Blue's natural. I don't think the Seer Council can withstand that damage though. And indeed they can't. Seer Council needing to retreat, but that decap was vital. Farseer of Darks now level 8 takes down the Apothecary, takes down some Assault Marines as well, and is now level 9. There's a time field. And red team are using it to decap, but look at this. Sneaky Scouts have decapped and are going to cap red's natural. Darks distracted in the middle, now running back. This is going to be so close. Blues have their natural. They have a double here, and this might be it. 8-11. Can Darks get back to his VP in time? There's the jump. He needs to decap. 8-5. Blue team are going to take this unbelievable victory for the Space Marines. Look at that. Wow. Unbelievable stuff. Big thanks to everyone who took part. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you next time.